Hey guys, it's Clumzy here, and in today's video, I'll be going through my arena fight step by step to guide you on how I was able to outplay my opponents. I will also provide you with many valuable tips that you can implement in your own games. This is episode 3 of the fighting guide in arena. Now hold up just a second, alright? Before the Timmies in the comment section come at me for not being in champs, I've been really busy with school and exams, so
we do not care.
If I'm not playing the game, how possibly can I be in Champions League? Now let me stop talking, let's get right into this video. I start this game off by landing at this castle north of Faulty Splits. It's an insane drop spot and it's definitely my main for arena. There's nothing too much to say here. It was a very simple kill. When I picked up the shotgun, I instantly looked to push and kill my opponent who contested me. I know that he probably doesn't have much because the game just started, so I play aggressive and my focus is to get rid of him as fast as I can. You don't want to be in an early fight for a long period of time. You want to kill the players fast. If you can, don't push if you know you're at a disadvantage. But now I am able to loot quickly and move over to Faulty Splits, a very hot drop. I usually look to third-party fights over there. Here I find myself in a building in Faulty and there are many people around. I gave this tip in one of my old videos before, and that is whenever you see someone on a staircase like this, the best way to end the fight as fast as possible is just to slide a cone over top of them. Pay attention to my movement the second I do this. I use natural cover to keep myself protected while having a right hand peek, and from there it's an easy kill. However, there was a player hiding in this cone and he beamed me. I don't know why he didn't push me, but I popped my 2 splashes in case he did. I thought he would have been more aggressive. Anyway, as I am pushing this wall, I am once again on the left side in order to give me a right hand peek, and I am ready to place a wall right here in case he makes an edit. That is exactly what I'm thinking during this situation. After I take the wall, I realize that he's so pressed up against it, so I make this edit to prevent him from having any angle on me. It was impossible for him to shoot me from this position, and I can see him and he can't see me. Later on, I'm in a pretty long fight with this player. I managed to beat him for 120 with the pistol, so I go down to pressure him, but I see another player and I'm able to beat him even harder. Whenever you make someone low, you want to apply pressure constantly. But be careful because in some fights, if you're up against a pretty good player, you don't want to be holding W without thinking because he will manage to turn the fight around with maybe a pre-fire or some edit that will catch you off guard. In my case, it was a really easy kill. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. In this fight, I lasered this player, but I ended up getting destroyed because I was way too aggressive. I'll let you watch the fight and tell me if you can spot my mistake. Error, which was that edit, and then he just full keyed me. I have to be honest, I could have played that better and even won. I could have made more boxes and got high ground because I had a lot of mats and I even had 6 minis and just it was a very winnable fight. Coming back to the original game, here's another tip that you will definitely need in this chapter. Whenever you have high ground and you hear the other player pull out the hammer, he is most likely going to use it to try and get high ground. So you realize what I did? I looked away and started running the complete opposite direction, and I prepared to shoot him as he was in the sky, and then I instantly place a wall to prevent him from doing any damage back. I do this trick again, and I'm able to get more damage on my opponent. I decide to chase him because I was very confident and knew I had the health advantage. This right here was a bit risky because the way I pushed this wall wasn't very smart, and I almost took the kill because this guy's movement was crazy. Now this next kill, I'm going to admit I got a little bit lucky. I was pushing this guy in his box, but I did not do it in a safe way. I stood on top of his cone and all of a sudden we were face to face, and it really came down to who can hit his shots. So it really came down to aim. What I could have done better here is instead of jumping right on his roof, I could have jumped slightly to the side on my own floor or cone, and this way I would have been able to hit him and place a wall to cover myself. This next fight is interesting and it really emphasizes the importance of movement. I was getting third partied, so my focus was split up and I didn't hear this player pull out his hammer. All of a sudden, I found myself trapped in his builds, but I controlled the floor and the cone. I do a quick double edit and I managed to get a nice hit on my opponent. Now really pay attention to what I do here. After he takes full control of the builds, I only have 2 things to rely on: movement and aim. This is what won me the fight. I bait the player to overexpose himself by going to the right into his second box. Then I do a sneaky jump to the left and boom, he is dead. Get rolled, he's a fish. I get the mythic pistol and kill the next player very easily. 70 headshot damage. That is absolutely insane from that range, and that was just a free kill. Finally, we are in the 1v1 to win it all. I start the fight with the health advantage, and there are some things to be learned here. Pay close attention. The player I'm fighting doesn't have a cone in his box, and I always take that into consideration because I know that if he makes an edit, I can just slide a ramp in his face, which is exactly what I did in this fight. He's overly aggressive, so I use this opportunity to get a big hit on him, and now he's almost dead. It's now my turn to apply pressure. If you want to be able to predict players, then pay attention to their movement. Where do you think this guy is going? Obviously to the right, so I just track him and get him boxed. From there, it's an easy finish and an easy win. For this next win, I'm going to skip the parts where there isn't much value. I start this game off with an early kill. I was just pushing this player because I deemed him, and when you do that, you always want to take that fight because you have the health advantage. This next fight is a prime example of what not to do in the early game. I had low mats and I wasn't aware. I tried to side jump, but I almost fell to my death. Fortunately, I was able to escape, heal up, and recollect myself for the endgame. Here I am challenging this superhero skin sweat who thinks he's the shit after third-partying me for 5 hours. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Look at my crosshair. I am literally just tracking my opponents. I am putting more focus on what they are doing, what they are thinking, and their positioning. It's how I was able to start off this fight in my favor, giving me the advantage. I hear the hammer, I know it's a chance for me to get another free hit, and now he has no more shields. I'm going to apply more pressure, since again I have the health advantage. And there it is. You see the hammer? You see the hammer? Look up at the sky right away. Unfortunately, I got beamed by another player, which kind of helped out my opponent, but he just cycled in my box like a total idiot and I finished him off. This is the final fight of game number 2. It's the 1v1 for the win, and if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I love playing low ground and angles. Like during this fight, you'll notice what I'm trying to do. Most of the time, like I mentioned before, I'm trying to take sneaky shots and peeks where my opponent wouldn't expect it. Here's really what I'm doing. I have a hammer, so I'm just trying to get close to him safely, not really trying to gain height, because I know that I can use my hammer if I'm really close to him, and he wouldn't have the time to react. It's exactly what I do, and now I have the high ground, without using any crazy retakes. He's under my build, so I get a free hit, and then when I go down to pressure his wall, pay attention to my position. Once again, I'm on the left side. I don't even do any sort of building, and I just keep my crosshair on my enemy, and then he does this unoptimal edit, which allows me to get the win. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, that would be just to realize that you don't have to be insanely mechanical to win fights or even win games. You really need very good movement and aim, and for the building aspect, obviously you want to be good at that too and like continue to improve it, but as long as you have the main moves and know some piece control tricks and a couple of protected retakes, you'll be able to compete, and you won't get destroyed in arena. In this fight, I'm starting with a 125 HP advantage. You want another tip? Use the pistol, it's absolutely broken in this game. Look what I do when pressuring this guy's wall. I just switch between my pickaxe and shotgun to try and bait and edit. And eventually, this fight is over without me doing anything special. It was the easiest fight of my life, and all I did was keep my crosshair on his player and pull out my pickaxe like I'm some miner from the streets. Finally, it's endgame once again, and I'll let you watch this because it's really straightforward what I did. Whenever you're in endgame, just know that high ground wins games. Literally grab your pencil, pull out a notebook like you're about to do some studying, and then watch your parents' face get happy because they think their son or daughter is finally going to do some productive work, but instead they're going to memorize some Fortnite advice because that's more important. Please write that down. Anyways, here are the last few clips. Watch them and pay close attention. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you did learn something new. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and use my credit code Clumzy in the item shop. It's the #1 best way to support me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.